For me personally, it was continuing to keep my love and my passion for it, the fun of it that I had when I was young. Because as you get older, it becomes more of a business, and you want to make it to the NBA, you want to be a pro, you want to have all these things and a lot of this pressure on you.
What's up, basketball fans? Rhossi Carron here with U Sports Group, and I'm here at the Reynolds Center on the beautiful campus of the University of Tulsa, and I'm here with senior forward Jeriah Horne.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for joining me.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Just watch you guys practice, intense practice. You guys really got after it. A lot of athleticism, a lot of speed, a lot of toughness. Talk to me about this group and then how you see yourself fitting in with this group.
Man, I think we have a lot of guys who want to win. And that is the reason why I came back to the University of Tulsa in the first place. Just to be a part of a team that cares about winning and puts that first, and everything else will follow in place. So I think that is why you see the toughness, why you see the urgency, and that camaraderie that we have out there on the court and the way that we practice, knowing that it translates into the games.
You talked about coming back. So last year you were here at Tulsa 2 years ago. You went to Colorado, had a good season there, and now you're back. Why this place, and what did you learn from that experience that you think is going to help you impact these guys?
Man, I think the first reason as to why, this is where I found myself mentally, physically, emotionally, where my relationship with Jesus Christ grew. I'm a believer. So with that being said, it just made all the sense to come back. But when I left, I never anticipated that being the case. But in our life, in our journey, God has us do different things for different reasons. I believe I went out to the University of Colorado, and I learned a lot. Really how to be a true team player, how to fit in within a system, how to continue to grow and be myself, and be okay with that. There's certain things that people struggle with, and so being able to find myself on the court and off the court was a very valuable thing that I can bring back here, and helping the younger guys on this team with that as well, and being a leader.
That's awesome. And last year's season had challenges with COVID-19, and people outside of the sport that are not involved in college athletics, they didn't understand the grind and all of the hurdles and challenges with COVID-19. Talk a little bit about last season.
Yeah, it was definitely rough, and honestly, I didn't necessarily realize how difficult it was until the season was over. Not having to get up at a specific time, early in the morning before practice to get a COVID test, or throughout the day, it's like, we're not allowed to practice until everybody's test came back negative. And that waiting in the balance is somebody, is somebody gonna test positive, and if so, was I kicking it with him?
Yeah.
Or, because I think that's what made it tough too. Is that's the biggest part with these with basketball teams is, like I said, that camaraderie, that the way that we just gel. You have to be the cohesiveness. You have to hang out outside of just practice. So it definitely had its challenges, but it just showed us how much stronger that we can be when we put our minds to something and really want it.
That's cool. Let's talk about this team. Who's the most competitive guy on this roster?
The most competitive.
And there's some competitive guys out there.
Yeah, there is. Does Coach Hape count?
You're too old to play.
Man, I would say Keyshawn.
Keyshawn's the most competitive.
I believe he's the most competitive. The way his verbiage, he has a very loud voice which carries. I think that's very important, and I believe that Ray is a very close second. Being 5 men in the center, you have a point guard, you have a center who are both extremely competitive.
It helps everybody in between.
Exactly.
That's insightful. That's insightful. Who's the leader of this team?
I feel like we have a lot of leaders, and I think that's what makes a team, very important. Obviously, you have your leadership from guys who, are seniors and have that seniority. But we have some new guys, as far as Sam and even some freshmen, AP, who they just do the right things. They do they go about it the right way, and that carries and that travels a lot. I feel like each and every individual player leads this team in their own specific and special way.
For basketball fans who have been hiding under a rock and haven't seen you play, describe your game. Who is Jeriah Horne on the court?
Jeriah Horne on the court is, a player who loves to be out there. I've been playing the game ever since I was 3 years old. And I'm just going to try to make the right play. I'm going to do whatever it is I feel like my team needs me to do in that situation. I've been known from outsiders looking in as a shooter. So I have the ability to be able to score the ball at all three levels, which is a blessing. And at the same time, just a competitive spirit and just doing anything I can to ensure a win.
Off the court, who is Jeriah Horne? You talked about your relationship with Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you off the court? If I was describing you to a friend, and I was saying I got this kid, man, he's a great kid. His name is Jeriah Horne. What else would I say about you?
Just someone who loves communication, loves relationships, building relationships, getting to know new people. Even on my Instagram, I have this kind of message and theme design that I'm pushing. Lead with love.
What's your Instagram? Handle?
At Jeriah Horne 41
Okay.
is my Instagram handle.
Keep talking about leading with love.
But lead with love is what Christ did, and it's how it brings all people of different colors and creeds together. And if you lead with love, I feel like everything else take care of itself. There's a lot of people have a lot of walls built up from a lot of trauma and hurt that they've experienced. So I just try to bring life into people the best way that I can, and I believe that's just by being myself.
That's powerful, and you're going to impact people's lives by being yourself. Let's talk about the transition from high school to college.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to play Division I basketball. Everybody wants to have the opportunity that you have. What was the biggest adjustment from being a high school athlete to now being a Division I collegiate student athlete playing at a high level?
For me personally, it was continuing to keep my love and my passion for it, the fun of it that I had when I was young. Because as you get older, it becomes more of a business.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to make it to the NBA, you want to be a pro, you want to have all these things and a lot of this pressure on you. But at the end of the day, man, it's just like enjoying where you're at, living in the present moment, not looking to the future, knowing that that's going to take care of itself. That we all have a journey, and if it's meant to be, then it will be. If that's what God has in store for me, then that's what's going to come to pass.
From a basketball standpoint, if Jeriah Horne today could speak to 9th grade or 10th grade Jeriah Horne, what advice would you give him knowing what you know now? Either on or off the court.
Yeah, I think both. It would just be to live in the present moment. A lot of times, with my optimism, I do look towards the future, and sometimes, focusing on things that I wish I could have done better in the past or could have changed to make this outcome different. But everything happens just like it's supposed to. I'm here, and I've made the strides in which I've meant to be both on and off the court.
You guys are playing in 2 of our events, neutral site events in December. The first one is December 18th in Fort Worth at Dickies Arena. Hoop Hype XL. You guys have a big matchup against Colorado State. Mm-hmm. And you guys a few years ago had a 7 overtime game.
Yeah. I've not forgotten about that one.
Talk about that matchup and how important you think that game is.
Yeah, no, I'm extremely excited for that game. Like you said, we didn't end up winning that game in that 7 overtime, but it was a blast. Great atmosphere to be in. Just looking forward to that as well. And then a coach on the staff, Ali from Farokmanesh. Mm-hmm. I knew him from Nebraska.
What's up, Ali?
So excited to always, play against him because he's a competitor as well. So it's gonna be a blast.
And then 3 days later, you guys are playing in our next event, which is Compete for Cause Classic, December 21st at Paycom Center. Mm-hmm. And that matchup in the doubleheader, you guys will be playing North Texas. Mm-hmm. North Texas is coming off of winning Conference USA Tournament Championship 2 years in a row, and actually won a game in the NCAA tournament as they beat Purdue in the first round. So that's another big matchup. Talk to me about that matchup and what your expectations are for that game.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be a very great challenge for our team, and to see where we're at. At the same time, competing against a very highly talented team who has shown to be very competitive and wins. Mm-hmm. So I think it'll be a great matchup and a great test for us.
3 years from now, where do you see yourself?
3 years from now, I just see myself making an impact in the world, where, how, and which way, I can't necessarily tell you. I know I have, you know, my wants, but I know that.
What do you want? Tell me some of those wants.
Obviously, it's playing basketball. I feel like, you know, just being a part of the sport, you can connect and spread love with so many different people, and the relationships that you build. That's what I love.
So, pro basketball player in 3 years. When that basketball chapter is over, what would be next for you? Basketball is done. You've made some money playing hoops. What's next?
I'm a big family man, so that's definitely something that I see down the line.
Wife, kids?
Wife, kids. At some
Dog?
point. How old would I be by that point?
I don't know. It depends on how long you play.
Ooh.
You got 10 years. It looks like you got 10 years in those young legs.
At the same time, I tell you, I've been trying to focus on the present right now.
There you go.
I'm gonna let that's gonna come.
Okay. So we'll leave that in God's hands.
Yeah, I believe it in God's hands. I'm gonna let it work out itself.
Last thing, NIL, name, image, and likeness, has changed the landscape of college athletics. Tell me your thoughts on NIL and how you think it impacts the college landscape, both negatively and positively.
I think it's very important, NIL. The idea of being, for me, what I experienced was like, man, like, it was like a door was opened. Now, what I could really do, I'm not sure, and still trying to figure those things out. But just the idea of making money off of my name, my image, and my likeness, and I guess more of kind of seeing myself a part of the university, a part of these things that's going on, but still like me being an individual.
Your own brand.
My own brand, exactly. I think it gives us a lot of opportunities. Negative things, I don't necessarily view it as extremely negative as long as people approach it the right way, and they don't allow it to come in between them and like their teammates, and don't maybe necessarily get a big head or those kind of things. So.
No, that's good. You're a special dude, man. I enjoy spending time with you. I appreciate you doing this. Jeriah Horne, University of Tulsa.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Thanks.
Hey,
YouTube, Rhossi Carron here. Thanks for tuning in. I truly appreciate your support, and I hope that you found this content both entertaining and informative. Please remember to like and share this video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel to stay in the loop with all of our exclusive content, plus behind-the-scenes footage from the sports and entertainment industry. Thanks again, and I hope to see you guys soon.